Thank you for being here, ladies. Also, Marta and Sylvia, the instructors. Today is the demo day for the web development course. Here we have the students, and they're going to present their final project after 24 weeks of learnings and knowledge of the programming field. And we will go with the first one. There is Elodie.
Should I start?
Yeah, you can start sharing your screen and start your presentation.
Okay. All right, so I did an app for my, well, it's a bit personal wise, but I did an app for my husband, which is a chef. Last year, started a project of doing some personal meal for people. Basically, you just some personalized meal. So if depending if you're having a diet or if whatever, if you're doing, I don't know, like whatever personal meal. So basically the whole app is about this. So here you have a little bit of an introduction of him. I don't know what I should say actually, but I use some CSS and I use we use React. So the whole point is here to put the number of calorie you want to have per day. So let's say that I'm on a diet of 2000 calorie and I get here my personal plan. So here you have the meal and I use an API. So if you want to check the recipe of this cranberry pudding, so if you click on the go to recipe, you have here the recipe of the cranberry pudding, which is an API. And then start to build a calendar as well to book a date. So in case you want him to come to your place and do some meal for you. This is just the calendar, is static for now. You can't book any day because I didn't manage to do it, but that will be the plan to do. And then on the footer is just a contact form that obviously not working yet because I want to connect it at third party, but yeah, that's it. So this is my app.
That's nice. It's a web app, right?
Yep.
Awesome.
It's responsive also, so sorry. If I close the window a little bit, sorry. Here you have the burger and yeah, it's kind of responsive. Yeah.
That's cool. And when you reserve or when you book a time with him to come to your place, is that goes to his email or?
That's the plan. Yeah, that's what I want to do. I didn't manage to make it work, but that's what I want to actually do, because that's something that eventually is going to go online. It's something for real. It's not just fake. So the plan is to actually make something work that when someone book online, then you receive an email and you can, or even here, like someone send him an email, you can get a message and then contact the person directly. But then in the future also, instead of using an API like I did, I will actually put his recipe and his meal. So, but for now, I need to work on it. So
that's nice. That was going to ask about it. Like, for example, if I put, if I go to get your personalized meal plan, it's an API, right? But those are his recipes, or
no, for now, no. Because that was last year and it changed and well, nothing was ready. So I just use an API as we learned in the class. But eventually I will use a database and put all the recipes and everything. But for now, I just use an API. Spunacular API.
Cool. I really like it. Does anyone have a question or any doubts for Elodie?
Yeah, I would like to ask. I think I'm gonna ask all of you the same question. So, what did you struggle with the most for this, and what did you feel the most proud about?
Well, that would be the same thing. The struggle and proud is the API. I struggle a lot with the API, and but I'm really proud that it's working, to be honest. But that was a struggle with the API a little bit. it was a bit confusing back end, front end, and everything, but it is actually working. But but that was actually a really struggle. But and I'm proud. I'm really proud because everything is working fine. See that if I put 1,000 calorie, is actually responding well. So the formula is working, and all the recipe are there.
Nice, nice styling also. I like the theme of it. Good job.
Thank you. Also,
Yeah.
my logo myself. Sorry.
Yeah, I like it too. Great idea, and I think it can be successful. So maybe something aligned with Daniela's question. What do you think is the first priority for you now to work on this project?
The first priority is to make this calendar working.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, that would be.
How much time would you estimate that?
Marta, to be honest, I don't know. If it takes the same time as the API, that will take 4 days or 5 days. I hope it won't take that long. But then after the calendar, my next thing will be to work on the database. But I will have to wait for him to give me obviously the meal and the recipe. He's also working on this side. So once we have that, we will actually crack on the meal, on the personal email.
That's a good idea. Thank you.
Welcome.
Yeah, and you can also, share it with the UX UI students or graduates that maybe they can help you, with all the visuals and all the experience of the web.
Yeah, I will. Once it's when I will get a bit further down, I will actually share it and ask for some advice as well. Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Nice. Awesome. Thank you, Larry.
Thank you.
Amazing.
Should I stop sharing?
Yes, please.
Okay.
So next one is going to be Adelaide.
Yeah, I can wait. So I'm going to start sharing. Wait. Okay, let me know when you can see it.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So to explain a bit my project was to build an interactive map to be able to map all the associations that are here in Barcelona and to be able to filter them by name, area where the association are, category, and then I wanted also to add if they have special day when you can volunteer or if it's more on the weekend, at special hours. So yeah, just let's go to it. I didn't finish all of the stuff that I wanted to do, so that's why I put some coming soon. But this is the final goal to have it. So here we have a small presentation. Actually, every time you click on here, you actually go to the map. So I was just this, and there I put a menu. This is a link to the project. Well, here, then the map, and then we go directly to the contact. There we can filter the association. So I connected it. Yeah, it's good. I connected it to an open API from Generalitat de Catalunya. The only thing is, at the beginning, I was super happy because there were 100 associations. So I was oh, that's cool. Because in the API, I got access to the name, the area, and the localization of the association. But they didn't actually filter them by category or the day. So I was about to do the research. And then I realized it was only the first page, and there was actually 10,000 association in this API. So I just decided to stick to the first 100, and then but my project would be actually to be able to do it for every association and to be able to make it work and filter it really. But for now, it's just going to be this one. And then, yeah, actually my map is with for development purpose only, because if not, I was afraid about having to pay. So that's why I just keep it like this. But then if you click in an association, you get the name and the telephone number. Also here, my goal was to be able to add like website if they have it or not, but it was just like really, really long because it was not part of the API. So I had to add it myself. The only thing that I already did is to connect it to my own database. So it's actually connected to Mongo. The only thing is like, as it was not code related, because I had to actually create everything and to work around for it, I just decided to leave it like this and just like, so I can follow after the class. And also, if you look for I don't know, if you want something that is related to salad, you can search, and well, that was not a lot, but it's like, because the filter search is for the name of the association or also the area. It's the one that I'm working with. Actually, why not? Maybe it doesn't reload really well. That's why I was working before. Okay, let's check it again. So if you want only the one in Gracia, and then you search for it, you have only the one in Gracia. And then the goal was to do the same for the category, but as I explained, I had to actually create the category for everything, so I didn't manage to do it on time. And then at the end, I just put a small form, so you can add your name, your email, and just the message. This is awesome. And I managed to actually connect it to email.js, and then so maybe Elodie, I will be able to help you, because I actually
that's what I wanted.
So it's my own address. I actually should, yeah. I just received an email from the person with a message on it, and yeah, that's all. And your message has been successfully sent, and that's my project.
Awesome.
Nice. Great job. I really like it, like the idea. Super cool. I'm just wondering, if you have to start from scratch, what would you do differently?
Maybe I would actually try to fetch an API that have like more information, because now like I like the project and I want to keep going on this, but it was a bit a struggle because I wanted to do something with the categories, but there were no categories, so I will have to create them all on my own. And I think, well, at least now I have the idea, and if I want to do it for another API that have like more information, I will be able to do it. But right now it's more like I'm a bit like frustrated that I couldn't do the category, because my goal was actually, so I think I'm gonna do it after the class, but was to put a category and to put a different icon depending on the category you're looking for. So then you can see directly on the map what are the categories about. So yeah, I would definitely look for an API that have like more information. Well, more information on one association, and not 1,000 association in the category.
Fair enough. Nice. Thank you. Any questions?
Yeah, I have my previous question, but anyway, I like to say I think this is a very good idea and it looks fantastic. And I think this could really be very useful. Like it could even be crowd crowdsourced in getting other people help you categorize associations, because in the end, if this is something that the Generalitat API doesn't provide, it's like it's lacking something. So
Yeah.
and plus the to say there's like 1,000 associations all without a category like this could be very powerful on top of what they have. But obviously you cannot display 1,000 markers on the map because that would be too much. But it's a very good idea, and it looks really nice. I like the styling of it. So yeah, back to my question. So what did you struggle the most with, and what are you the proudest about?
What I struggle the most, but I think you know, it's like the filter like button, because I first did filter by filter the button, and then I was a bit like lost because I didn't know how to activate the search button. So it was the most difficult part for me, and to be like not able to see it like working, and but yeah, for me it was this part. And then, well, I'm proud of the overall look of my app. Like I feel it's not working yet as I want, but it's like it looks good. So just also happy with this. And yeah, no, and the overall like I'm actually really proud of the interactive map in itself. That's like I know that this is something that we didn't see in class, and I just like try to follow a tutorial. So I'm actually proud of this.
Yeah, good job.
So I have one technical question. Is this page responsive?
Yeah, actually. So it's like wait. Oh. So it's like for the picture, wait, it's not really entirely responsive, but it was supposed to be. Okay, there was some responsiveness issue, but
Then that's just another step.
yeah, it's like that's it.
Yeah, I would use it if I'm in Barcelona and it works. Are you planning on hosting it somewhere? Because I can see that you run it from localhost.
Yeah, because I actually I asked for the demo day if we were planning on deploying it on Heroku or something like this. But yeah, my goal is like once it's finished, well, it's finished. Well, it's like a bit more advanced, is actually to deploy it and to contact Generalitat de Catalunya to see if they're interested. And because, as you say, Sylvia, I don't want to do the 10,000 association, but I just want to have it at least ready, like for the category, and to show how I want it to be and why I want the category of the association, and if they want to change the category of the association, or maybe like yeah. And then I would definitely be happy if I can leave it to them.
Makes sense. Thank you.
Yeah.
Nice, and like same as Elodie. It would be great if you can. I have my mindset is from the UX, so learning about the flow, the user flow, would be help you to make it better, no, with a better experience with the app. So make it maybe, I don't know, changing the search bar, changing the bar where you have the name of the association, area, category, because that is like your main focus of
Yeah.
the web. So maybe putting it in another place would be great. And if you want, I can help you with that. Making some card sorting and another methodologies that we use in UX to make it a better
Yeah.
experience.
Definitely. Actually, my goal was the initial goal was to make it a bit like Airbnb, so you could click on the association and then have like a picture, a link, and like some name, like some list of association, and then you could like scroll But then it was a completely bigger project, and I had to choose what to do first. But yeah, definitely.
Of course. Yeah, whenever you want, I can help you with that.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, Yolanda. Thanks. So last but not least, Maria.
Okay, let me share my screen. Can you see it? Okay.
Yeah, perfect.
Okay, so I did a quick presentation to explain a bit about my project. And basically, it's a cinema app, so it shows all cinema listings in Barcelona, because my idea was that apart from Google, there's no place where all the cinema listings for all cinemas in Barcelona are aggregated. So my idea was to take listings from all the different separate cinema websites and combine them into one app. So I did this by doing web scraping with Python to scrape the cinema websites. Then with the info that I got from the websites, I created a database in MongoDB. And then with the info in the database, I built the backend with Express. And then I did the front end with React on top of that. So this is how it looks. And you can browse by films, cinemas, or area. And then within areas, sorry, my computer's going a bit slow because I'm sharing my screen. You can browse by cinemas within that area. And then for each cinema, you can check the film, and then it has the date and the timings. And if you click on the time, it takes you to the third-party website where you can book tickets, or you can, well, browse the website, I guess. So that's it basically. For films, I have a listing with all the films, and then if you click on an individual film, it shows you some information about the film poster, and the cinemas where it's. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to do that. And the cinemas where it's currently showing. Yeah.
Amazing.
For the cinemas as well, you have all the different films that are on in that cinema for all the dates that are available on the website, basically. And yeah, that's it. Any questions?
Thank you, Maria. I will ask the same question as Adelaide. Like, if you have to start from scratch, what would you do differently?
I think I would definitely try do a project with a pre-existing API instead of having to build my own database and stuff from scratch, because I think that drained most of my time working on the project, and I didn't get to spend as much time as I would have wanted working on the app itself and working on the functionality of the app.
Nice.
So yeah.
Nice. I really like that you used your knowledge from data science, scrapping, and merging it with this app, web app, I would say. Nice. Any question?
So I have a question about the scrapping. So basically, you have hard-coded the list of the cinemas there, or like pages from the cinemas, or how does it work? Like, how did you design on the list of the cinema? What's gonna happen if the new cinema appears in Barcelona?
Yeah, hard-coded the list basically. I created a list of pages that I wanted to scrape and then created scrapers for those pages.
And like how do you scrape because the data format is probably different for different cinema, how you have to scrape them, right?
Yeah, so some cinemas are owned by the same like parent company, so the web page is the same, the structure is the same because it's the same website. But I basically built an individual scraper for each site.
Okay, I understand. That's very impressive. I like it a lot.
Thank you.
Good project. I would use it. If you can expand it to the whole Spain, I would be very.
Thanks, Marta. Silvia?
Yeah, I'm also impressed by the use of scrapers. I've never used scrapers myself. I don't even know how to do one, honestly. And so the thing is, in order to get updated screenings, you would have to run the scraper every week or something, or
Yeah.
wow. So, and do you do this at the moment? Like, would it be manual, or would you have?
No, I ran them. I ran it yesterday, and I didn't have that much time today because I was working, so I ran it mostly yesterday and then updated some stuff today.
Nice. Yeah, I plus one to what Martha just wrote in the chat. If you want to do a scraper bootcamp, I wanna be in it. So yeah, my question: what did you struggle the most with, and what are you the proudest about?
Well, I think the scraper was the biggest struggle, to be honest, and then I was quite proud of like how quickly I managed to create the back end and the front end. Although what I have is actually pretty basic. Like there were some features that I would have liked to include, like being able to filter by category. Because if you see on the films page, if it scrolls, I have the category for each film, which I scraped from the websites as well. So in the end, I actually scraped a lot of data that I didn't even end up using in the app itself. Like I scraped the language and whether it was like subtitled or not, and then I ended up not actually using that in the app because I ran out of time to add all this stuff. So I think what I struggled with most was like balancing the time between the scraper and the app, and then also making the app like a higher level than just like the quite basic functionality that it has now. Because I would have liked to include a search bar as well, stuff like this.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't get around to it.
You can still do it after. Good job. Awesome. Well done.
Yeah, I really like it, Maria. It's awesome. I always struggle with when I'm looking for a movie that you have to go to different pages, and then when you have to pay, it's another one, and so on. So it's good. And as well, you all should go to the UX UI graduates or PM, and also for the content design and UX writing to help you with all the copy that you have in your pages, and you will have an amazing project. So this is the first demo day that is super short. It's rare for me. So I just wanted to say thank you for doing 24 weeks of hard work for this first edition of the web development course. Thank you for being there, for your commitment and your motivation during these weeks. I know that some of you struggle during the course, but as I always say, it's like a roller coaster. I'm pretty sure after this that you are more relaxed, then you can have all your mentorings that we promised you with Sylvia and also with Midori or Jessica to keep improving your project and then go and show it. So I don't know if your instructor wants to say something, or Marta, that you started with this edition.
Yeah, so thanks for all the hard work. I think that you did amazing job. I'm really regretting not seeing the second project that you did. I'm not sure really how it went. I hope it was fine. And yeah, keep learning.
I plus one that too. I think it's obviously a lot that we try to teach in 24 weeks, and uh, it's it's not enough to even say you are a developer. You have to keep studying and keep working, keep practicing. I really encourage you to do that. And by all means, if you have any questions, if you need some mentoring, ping me up. I'll be still in Slack. Yeah, good job, and keep it up.
Thank you,
Thank
Sylvia.
you.
Thank you.
So, any of you students want to share something with your classmates, instructors so far?
You want to start? Yeah, I can. Well, I think we can all agree that it was hard, but I'm actually proud we could make it like today and the demo day. I'm super proud of us. So yeah.
Nice. You should feel proud, after all these weeks of hard work having 12 hours of class per week, waking up early on Saturdays. Like, of course, you don't have to feel proud. And as Sylvia and Marta said, it's just practice of any other job, no? Keep improving, keep learning, and I'm pretty sure you will um, get to your goal as a web developer or programmer is if it's what you wanted.